Good afternoon and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us again this afternoon. This is part 4 of our Achieving More Together Today series, our webinar portion. Hopefully you're getting our daily email communications and also seeing our social posts and the various ways that we're communicating with you to keep you informed, engaged, and empowered during this time. This, as I mentioned, is part 4 of our webinar series. We are joined today with Kate Gary from Allison South. She's going to share with us on social media strategy, different ways that you can gain new business through social outreach during this time, effective tools for communicating with your existing customers, and how to utilize e-commerce to establish yourself as an expert. So we thank you, Kate, for joining us today. We hope you all are finding these sessions informative and valuable. We host them Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 o'clock, and we will be rolling out next week's lineup shortly. So I'm Blair Marvin, Vice President of the Chamber, and I'm just honored to be with you all today as we continue to find new and innovative ways to connect, and as the Chamber strives to fulfill its mission of educating and informing you and being a resource at all times. So now I'd like to turn it over to Kate to begin our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Blair. I really do appreciate it. So I'm super excited to be on here. I'm dealing with technical difficulties with a Mac computer. I don't know if any of y'all have dealt with Mac, but this is my first time in my life that I have. I am on week 8 at Allison South. So I'm super excited to be able to present to you guys. I love small business. I love chamber events and networking. So when they asked me to do this, this is like right down my alley. So to give you a little bit of history about myself, like I said, I started 8 weeks ago, and I've been in different forms of marketing through different industries. My father was a small businessman, and now I currently work for a small business as well. So these kind of things have spoke to my heart. We created a program that we call the Forward Program when the coronavirus came into play, and we knew that our clients were going to be impacted. We decided that we had to do something. So if you can see, I came to the office and it says we're ink slingers, idea bringers, scribblers, and strategists. So I'm excited to share the next few things with you. So hold on. All right, so I talked a little bit about the Forward Program. It's moving forward for our community and for small business. We're offering 1 free hour of consultation specifically for small businesses during a time when shoppers may not be coming into their stores. We wanted to be able to assess the situation for them and try to figure out ways that they can market themselves during these uncertain times. So I'm going to go over this, and I hope you find it helpful. Any questions that you have, I'll try to answer during the presentation, but I may cover towards the end. So I'm going to move on to the next. So one of the first things that we're going to advise people to do is to improve your online presence. That means making sure that all your information across all forms of media regarding your website, social media, Google, whatever it may be that your information is on for your business, that it's all consistent across the board. Those are simple things that you can do for yourself where it'll raise up in your Google search or raise the name of your business. This is the perfect time. This is what I call cleaning house. Update new information, pictures and videos. You know, I feel like a lot of people are at home. I've been at home working from there. And so I've had a lot more time to take pictures and update things and help clients. And that seems to be what they're doing the most. Also adding new and relevant content can help. You know, you have a lot of people that are new clients, but you also have probably older customers too that are faithful and they enjoy seeing new things. So I think it's important for you to be able to share that and what's going on. So this right here is a buzzword, I feel like, at our office, and I've learned a lot about it in the past few weeks. It's search engine marketing. I know it's kind of what we talk about when people are searching. So we can do Google AdWords where people pay per click. So if someone clicks on a certain word, and they look up on a certain word, and then your website comes up, you pay per click. So here you can read here, it says owners pay to have their web pages displayed for certain keywords. It's not necessarily immediate, so sometimes it takes a little bit longer. The more you pay, the quicker it is. So down below is search engine optimization, which is SEO. And when you talk, excuse me, we talk about that a good bit. So optimizing your website to get organic or unpaid traffic. So making sure that you're in those search areas when people are looking for the things that you're trying to sell. And that definitely takes up to 90 days. So the next thing that we encourage you to do is, if this fits your business, email marketing or blogs, communicating with your customers right now is probably one of the most important things, to be in their face on a regular basis. That way you can build the relationship with them. I mean, people always want to do business with people that they know. I think this is a great time because they're at home. They're watching TV, they're on their iPads, they're on their cell phones. And so it gives you a platform to be able to share, and you have their undivided attention. So one of the other things that we do for some of our clients is we do blogs, and the main purpose of blogs is to share the information with an audience that's interested. It helps boost traffic to your website, and we can add keywords in there to make it a little more searchable for SEO. So I don't know if anybody's doing that now, and sometimes it doesn't apply to the business. It's not something that you need to do, but there's certain businesses it definitely is relevant for. So huge thing right now are online reviews. I know that I'm middle-aged, and I know that the younger crowd here in our office, reviews are very important when it comes to making a purchase decision. So, for you as a business owner, I would say to encourage customers to give the business feedback, positive feedback online, whether it be Facebook, Google, Yelp, or any other review that applies to your business. Obviously you want a positive review, and where your audience is. If you have a larger Facebook following, I would definitely encourage those that interact with your Facebook page to put a review. So you can encourage people to do that by offering giveaways. You can also have someone there to respond immediately. Even with the negative reviews, it's important to respond, but be mindful of how you respond. And I think I put in here, think before you speak. So, it is permanent. People can do screenshots of what you say. So be careful if it strikes a chord with a negative review, people can follow it. So with reviews, it's even more important with potential customers to know how your business is ranked. I know for me, when I search things, if I'm out of town or if I'm not familiar with a certain industry, I'm definitely going to look at the reviews. So this is an inexpensive way to get people to search your web page and learn a little bit more about you. So the next thing that I think is very important, especially in a community-minded place like Augusta in the CSRA, network collaboration with other local businesses. I don't know how many people are advertising on social media as far as Facebook or Instagram or whatever it may be, but online giveaways with other businesses or on social media is a great way to increase your follows and attract people to like and share and comment on your pages. Share on on your social media and website pictures of the owners depicting a collaboration. It doesn't necessarily have to be right now, because I know face-to-face is really challenging right now, but it's very important. So hosting a network event online through Google Hangouts, Zoom, or Uber Conference. I know us working from home, we have been using Google Hangouts and Zoom for the most part. I know that I have family meetings on FaceTime. So these things, you can still meet with clients, these things can still happen. So collaborating, showing people that, maybe taking a screenshot of your Google Hangout, which I think is kind of cool to show everybody hanging out at home, but we're still working together. Another thing is planning events in the future. For example, there's always going to be Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas in May, or Memorial Day. Focusing on the events that you know are going to happen. I think part of this, these uncertain times, it's really challenging to know where to go next. Knowing exactly what's going to happen, we don't, and we're kind of scared of the unknown. So focusing on the future and what you can control is what we've advised, our people and our clients, because it makes you feel like you're doing something. It makes you feel like you're being productive. So that would be a huge thing that I would say to plan for the future for events that that are going to happen, whether it be specials or just a recognition or a promotion or a campaign. I think those are great ideas for you to focus in the right direction, because right now is not really a time to give up on marketing. You can't really pause it and pick it back up, because if you do, then your competition is probably going to pick up the market share. This is probably a really great time to pick up market share when you increase your digital presence when other people are pulling back. So I know that some people might have some questions on that, and so I'd love to elaborate a little bit more a little further down. Customer experience in e-commerce. I think now is really the most important time to really dial down on your shopper's experience to make sure it's memorable, whether it's online or in person, curbside, I should have said. But you need to be clear on the offers that you can give to the client, whether it be free delivery, free shipping, or if you purchase ahead of time. We've worked with some of our clients on e-commerce, and some of them have done Facebook shopping, doing the marketplace, Shopify, and I just looked up today, they currently have extended their 90-day free trial. You may need somebody with IT knowledge to help with that. I know I would not be able to do it on my own. I think I could handle the Facebook part, but the other part may be a little challenging. And for smaller businesses, PayPal business, we've done that with some people. I know personally, I use Venmo, and we have a client, Bone Cafe, who just picked up an app called Swipe Up, and it's for curbside service. So you put in your order, or you download the app, you put in your order, and then you put the time that you'll be there, and you pay on the app. So, there's lots of different opportunities that you can use. You just have to make sure that they kind of fit in with the software that you're using right now or your website. So lots of good ideas on that. So create a referral program. We do that now when we can be face-to-face. We do that with a lot of our clients. I think now is a great time to thank your direct referral sources. They're the ones that helped you before, and they're probably going to be the ones to help you in the future. Lots of people are advertising gift cards for the future to help stay afloat as far as small business is concerned. So gift cards for food, drinks, and retail, I'd say would be a huge thank you. One of the other things that we've encouraged is to refer someone by tagging them on social media and kind of giving them a shout out. You want to show positive things about their business and about their employees, because there are tons of people going above and beyond right now in their service, and being able to share the positive with all the negative going around is a huge plus. Another thing, offer incentives for referrals like coupon codes or a free service. I know that I've been inundated with ads on social media about referrals and coupon codes. So I think that that's something that's going to be more popular in the next few months. So it'd probably be a good thing to jump on early on. Another thing that we've encouraged to make people feel like they're doing more and being able to show the community how much they care during these times is giving back to the community, creating a sense of community and pulling people together through acts of kindness. I know I'm on the Red Cross as a board member, and I believe that our board director, Susan Everett, is on here too. One of the emails that she sent out was that there is a blood shortage in the CSRA, and I know it's very challenging to want to be able to donate because of being around other folks, but they've made precautions to help with that, and so we know that that is a huge need. Kids backpack programs for food are clothes collection. I know the schools that are going around, but if you ever feel the need to help, use your business as a platform to do that. It can be a drop-off site. You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with showing that you care about the community and that you want to give back. So when I talked about collaboration with another company, this would be a great opportunity to do that with other companies in collaboration to show that you both care about the community. Because I do strongly feel like if people know you, they want to do business with you, and if they know that you're giving back to the community, that means just that much more. So now I know y'all can see the left panel. I have not been able to figure out how to do full screen because when we went online, my screen changed. So I'm really sorry about that. We're going to go into social media. So I know this is a hot topic for everyone. So one of the suggestions, I had our social media department help me out with this, and they put this one at the top, which I think is great. Have fun and be consistent. Be genuine and honest with your audience. And after all, social media is created to connect with people. There's no truer statement there. I have a friend that likes to tell this, she's in social media, and she likes to tell the story of, Kate, you just need to be social online like you are in person, and then you'll have all sorts of people following you. So I've tried to take that approach. I have an art business on the side, or side hustle is what I call it. So I've gained a lot of following by just being consistent and being honest and trying to show my audience exactly who I am. And I think that's important for people to see transparency on your social media. So another thing, you'll get mixed reviews on quantity and quality. We professionally feel like quality is much more important than quantity. Posting content a few times a week. Overposting, as you can read here, sometimes it is considered spam. And if you are considered spam, then your post may not show up as much. So that wouldn't be helpful as a business. So having a business page is probably the most crucial thing that you need to do. If somebody is doing stuff from their personal page, you're not going to have the views that you would on a business page. So if you have any questions on that, definitely please share. Go by the 80-20 rule. So 80% of your content should be dedicated to your current audience, and 20% should be focused on your services you provide. So, you know, what it says here, social media was created to be relatable. You want people to understand your message, and that, again, that it's consistent and what you're trying to do on the page. Imagine if nobody had any kind of clue about what you're doing except for the post that you post, and be mindful of the communication that you're trying to relay. So high quality images and graphics get better interaction. One of the pieces of advice that I would give you is looking at somebody that you know and you admire online and looking at their page, emulating their page, looking at how they word things, how many hashtags they have. You know, you can see the interaction. So I personally feel like there's no reason to recreate the wheel. So if you know of a business in, you know, 12 states over that's not going to be competition for you, I would look at their page. If they have a successful page, there's a reason for that. So they may be boosting, they may have better pictures, they may have professional pictures. There were two apps that I put on here for the high quality images. One of the things that we use is Canva, and we use Lightroom just for basic Facebook and Instagram pictures. If we start doing professional pictures, we don't necessarily have to use those things. So the last thing is don't overuse your hashtags. We know that if you have a certain amount of hashtags, then it gets confusing on your message. You're trying to reach out to a community online, and that's how hashtags help. So, you know, if you want to reach out to Augusta, Georgia people, I would hashtag Augusta GA. If you click on that hashtag, then you'll be able to see all the other people that have posted and put the same thing on there. So it's really kind of cool to see who you're reaching out to and if that's who your target audience should be. So on Instagram, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. This kind of gives you the engagement, and you can see the times over here on the graph on the right. Here, where the darker boxes are on the weekend, Friday afternoons or Friday nights, or Wednesdays, which I think is really funny at nighttime. So I'm not really sure why it's these days, but it was a graph that we found that we thought would be helpful. So we talked earlier about being consistent. So being consistent on your posting or your stories. I love stories because they're not permanent. Stories are 24 hours. It's just a quick message. Most of my stuff, I feel like I don't need to post permanently. I just care about it being posted for 24 hours. So the more stories that you have, I would say the more traction you get, because you get comments and you also get emojis sent to you, and it shows that people are watching. People may not flip through the feed, but they may look at the stories. So I would say that stories are not as important as posts, but I would say that there is a large following there. When I was talking about a community and creating a community with social media, like, commenting, and sharing is huge. If you want people to do that to your page, you're going to have to do it to other people's pages. You know, when you meet someone, sometimes you may send them an email, or you may write them a note and say, it was great to meet you, or I really admire the decisions that you made in some sort of, I don't know, article, or you did great on a webinar. So I think it's important for you to do the same interactions online. So people know, I mean, they're posting for a reason. They want to know that they're going to get interaction from their audience. And if you give them some sort of interaction, they'll do the same. So here it says you can post 1 to 3 times a day. I particularly think, in my personal opinion, I think once is plenty, unless you have, you may have a sponsored ad that you are running, so people may see it multiple times. So that's one that you may boost. Contests, giveaways, how-to questions. Those are great ways for people. It's like a call to action. It makes people interact, and the more they comment, share, and like, other people will see that on the feeds. So I talked a little bit about targeting your community audience and social ads like you would in person. I really do mean that. I feel like the communities that you can touch are much more vast than you could in person. So you could be reaching several different communities. And when I say that, I'll give an example. So I paint on the side, like I said. I may want to reach out to coastal people because I may paint something coastal, or I may want to paint something about Aiken, South Carolina, and I want to tag Aiken, South Carolina in it. So I've gotten some interaction recently through that, and it really does work when you start targeting your communities. So a lot of the times people say Instagram is for demographics below 30. I do believe that. I feel like the Facebook is probably 30 and above. Absolutely nothing wrong with that, but knowing your audience is huge. So if you know most of the people that buy your products are going to be 30 and above, Facebook may be a better platform for you to share your message. I would still, I'm sorry, I should rephrase that. I would still post on Instagram, but you may not have as much interaction as you would on Facebook. So don't be discouraged on that. So then Facebook, 3 to 5 posts a week. It's a little bit less than Instagram, I think, because there's also you have more words. People put more words usually. Instagram is known for just pictures for the most part, but they picked up stories as well. And I don't think that people on Facebook look at the stories as much as on Instagram, but I have my page, my personal art page, my Instagram page and my Facebook page tied to each other. So that can be helpful if I want to do stories. The stories will be the same. Some people say that it's not, that you shouldn't have the same things on Instagram and Facebook because you're reaching different audiences, but sometimes it's okay if the message is what you want to share with both crowds. Boomerang videos. I don't know if anyone's ever done a boomerang video, but there is lots of interaction and it increases a purchase intent by 97% with brand association. I don't know if it's the excitement of it, but I think that's pretty exciting. So if anybody has any questions about boomerang videos, we can go through that too. So with the hashtags I mentioned before, you can search hashtags, and I think it's good research to figure out how to, what community that you're trying to reach to. So it says limit to 30 hashtags per post. What I think really what our social media department was talking about is if you're rotating hashtags, you should stay below that number. So I know per post, we recommend no more than 3 or 7. So anyways, we feel like rotating depending on the community that you have is important, but don't go rogue on some of these other ones. That's it for my social media. Just to give you a little idea about Allison South, we do full circle marketing. So we do events, social media, media placement and buying for digital. We also do public relations and networking, website development and branding. So if you ever need a strategy, we'd love to be able to help you. And I hope that these few things here you find helpful as well. And I'd love to be able to meet with you if you have any questions. So I do have a question. It says, how do you think it's best to handle or address negative postings on your business page? Do you ignore them or address them publicly or privately? That's a tough one because it depends on what it is. Sometimes if you have lots of posts, I think it's really challenging. You're going to have to evaluate what's happening, if it's an employee issue or a service issue or a communication issue. I would say you always respond, but maybe do it privately, because you don't want, if you have an irate customer, sometimes you don't know why they're upset with you. So privately would be my opinion. So I don't know if that helps answer your question, but I would definitely answer no matter what. So does anyone else have any other questions? I know I probably went through that quickly, but I wanted to have time for questions and not take up too much of your time. We'd love to be able to meet with you for an hour consultation. We'd probably go over some of these things in a little more detail that fit currently with your industry. So I know I have another question. I'm not sure what it is yet. Okay. So if you have limited time to do social media, what would you say would be the top 3 things to do? Okay. I think this is a good question. So one of the things that I do is I handle my social media early in the morning, right when I wake up. I know that that is the time where I can respond to people, because if you're going to post and you don't respond to people, and you're looking for that interaction when you post, and if you're not giving that reaction or response, then you're probably not going to have the interaction that you're looking for. So I would be consistent on stories, and I'm not sure if Facebook or Instagram is the platform that you're talking about or fits your industry the best, whoever is asking this question. But I would definitely do stories, and I would do 1 post a day. And If you can't, I would say 3 a week at the minimum. And I would go ahead and write them in advance. I think it's really important to go ahead and get your words out thoughtfully so you can share your message and it's consistent. I think a lot of people use social media is to post something off the cuff, and something well thought out is probably going to get a lot more interaction than just a random picture and a random comment. Always have a caption of what it is, because some people might not know what it is. So I'd say do stories, posting with intent, and have a caption. Are there any other questions? If you're,
I'll give it a second to see if any more come in and just chime in, and thanking you again for taking your time to be with us today. As I mentioned opening the call, this is the 4th of this series for our webinar portion of Achieving More Together Today initiative. We will be rolling out next week's lineup shortly. We are looking to provide an update on Tuesday on what it means to shelter in place for essential and non-essential businesses based on the governor's executive order coming out tomorrow. So that will be an important one to keep an ear and eye out for. Have we gotten any more questions, or are we?
We have one more. It says, if you're a nonprofit organization, how do you handle your marketing during this time? Would it be different than a business would? I would say it would be very similar. Focusing on digital and social media is how you're going to reach your market. It's so challenging right now for nonprofits, I know, because people are suffering, and they're trying to deal with families at home and a lot of togetherness. So I would continue consistently to consistently share your message. If you have media dollars or marketing dollars, I would put those into digital. So they'll be top of the mind in front of people depending on their searches. And I would be very consistent on Facebook and Instagram, because there are a lot more people on it right now for longer periods of time. I really appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity. I'm sorry for my lack of experience with the screen here, but the presentation has a lot of good meat in it, and I hope that you find it helpful. I look forward to hearing more questions and follow up. So Blair and Sarah, thank you so much for having me.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, we'll provide the presentation as always to the people that are on here today so that you have it to review with Kate's information. And we'll just look forward to continuing the dialogue as everyone ramps up with their social media. Thanks so much.
Thank you.